truth. Really, that's all we know. Keep it real and authentic. This truth be told. Only the truth. Tune in, cause you gotta watch. It's like you with us while we kick it in the barbershop. Here to motivate and inspire. Hosted by the real deal and the God Barber. I hope that you ready. Keep it funny and edgy. Let's go. You already know. Truth be told. Let's go.
Facebook, YouTube. That's how you get in contact with Truth Be Told, man. This T Green, the God Barber. I'm having so much fun with this podcast thing that we doing, man. They got me. This podcast got me. It got me. It got me away from the Clippers. But tune in, man. Tune in. Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell, ring-a-ling-a-ling. Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
I knew you were going to do that, Bree. I knew you were going to do that. Talk about ding-a-ling-a-ling. Man, bump all that, man. That ding-a-ling-a-ling, ring-a-ling-a-ling. Listen, what I need y'all to do is also understand that, hey, we have our platform for you guys to be a sponsor. If you want to sponsor TBT, if you want to get some stars and give back and give us some money, we don't got Cash App right now, but it doesn't really matter. But you can help us out by sponsoring us. Hey, season 8 is quickly approaching. So if you want to be our title sponsor, Green, they can't dig-a-ling-a-ling us, but they can sponsor us with some money, big dog. Hey, we having so much fun, man. Hey, man, let's go. Let's get this trade, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir, Green. We Green in the house, baby. We in the house. Season 7, big dog.
Season 7.
Man, this last show, big dog. How you feel about that, man?
I can't believe it's the last show, though, man. Season 7, last show.
Yeah.
That's big, boy.
That's real big, man.
Yeah, man. And it's my birthday weekend. Well, my birthday weekend just ended. But it's still my birthday. It's my birthday the rest of this month, boy.
Green, can I say something, big dog?
What?
I can't even lie, man. I was tired of hearing my notification go off. It was that ding-a-ling-a-ling thing all day. It kept ringing and ringing, ding-a-ling-a-linging. Dog, come on, man. Do you know that many people? Come
Man,
on.
I'm telling you, man, this might have been one of the best birthdays I done had. One of them. The love they showed me on Facebook, man. Oh, man. The love my family showed me. It was a good one, man. It was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I could tell.
Yeah.
I could tell.
Yeah.
I could tell.
And I'm still celebrating.
I know.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. I'm drinking some lemonade.
Special lemonade.
Some special lemonade.
Yeah. Jermaine, special.
Yeah.
Special by the car bump tonight, Jermaine.
Yeah.
So special lemonade tonight, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's cold when it hit my lips. But it's hot when it go in my stomach, man. It's hot, boy. They ain't got me on fire.
Well, Green, I can see you quickly stop, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you to take one more, big dog.
Yeah.
One more time for a birthday boy?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, shoot, man. Oh, my God. Hey, well, listen, man. Hey, this is your boy, Real Deal, man. I'm one of your co-hosts. And my crazy happy birthday co-host, the God Barber's in the house, man.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all the love, man.
Listen, I'm so
still
happy.
Celebrating, man.
I'm so happy to be back, man. Excited about just being the last show of this season. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I couldn't ask for a better way to end it. You know, we got somebody special in the house, Dream.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Special guest tonight.
Special.
Yeah, like your birthday. Special.
Special, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Green.
Talk to me.
Can we go ahead and get started?
Boy, let's go.
So, we have a Braden River alumni in the house tonight. You know what I'm saying? Also, Green, I heard that he was a career. He may have the career all-time three-point leader, maybe, hopefully. I think so.
I don't think I lost it.
I don't think he lost that. Green, I'm talking about them trades. You know what I'm saying?
What, shooting them
all-time lead over there at Braden River.
Okay, that's
You know what I'm saying? Also played at SCF, also USF, a bull. He also coaches, husband, soon to be father. Soon to be.
Okay.
Can I speak on that a little bit? I heard that somebody don't want to know what the baby's gonna be, and we just gonna wait for that. All right, don't worry about that. Don't ask me how I know, but I know. You know I know. You know what I'm saying? Also, man, currently, man, a firefighter in Lee County. My homeboy, I'm proud to say, he coached my son in basketball. Great coach, great mentor for the community and for the kids in the basketball program. Had an opportunity to spend some time and speak with him. Really excited about the direction that he's going as a man. The one and only Tre Bryant, people.
Tre Bryant, big Tre.
Tre, what's going on, baby?
Tre.
What's up? How you doing?
Boy, I ain't seen Tre in so long, man.
Yeah.
It's been years, man. Last time I seen Tre was little Tre. Man, Tre swole, boy.
Man, shit.
Tre swole.
We paint him green. We know what he look like, huh?
Woo.
Yeah.
Tre swole.
Tre, what happened, man? You go, Tre, stay off the stuff, man. I'm just telling you right now, bro. You cannot get that big over a summer.
It wasn't a summer.
Truth be told, Tre.
It wasn't a summer. Natural.
Tre swole, Tre.
Okay.
Natural.
Okay, natural. Okay.
But swole now.
It's truth be told, Green,
Yeah.
right? But he say natural.
He say natural now.
Okay, we gonna roll with that.
natural.
We gonna roll with that. Tre, listen, man. Hey, man. Man, so happy to have you here, big dog. Can we start somewhere? Can we start from the beginning of this, Tre?
Yeah.
Braden River, right?
Oh yeah.
Back in, I believe you graduated in 2013, 12?
12. 11, 12.
11, 12, right?
12.
But I want to start with basketball because I know as you being my coach, as my son coach, and also just knowing a little bit beforehand what you had going on, I was able to just find out just by conversation that you have a love for basketball. First love, second love?
First.
First love.
First.
But you dibbled and dabbled in some football too.
Oh man.
Huh?
Did I? I like to forget about that.
You like to forget about that.
I like to forget about that.
But you dibbled dabbled with
Yeah,
football.
yeah.
But at some point you transitioned, you became a full-time basketball player.
Yeah.
All right. How would you describe the start of your career in basketball?
Oof. 2 left feet. Skinny, big head. Couldn't dribble, can't shoot. I was terrible.
Terrible.
I was awful.
Wait. You went from being terrible 2 left feet to being the all-time 3-point leader. How's that happen?
Ooh. Say a lot of work, a lot of people doubting me. And, you know, it took a couple moments in my life between me, some of my teammates, competitors, my dad. Something just kind of clicked that one moment, and it kind of helped me, you know, push myself to want to be better than what I was, because I thought I was doing something, but I wasn't.
Right.
I wasn't.
Well, Green. Here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I would like to say you were sorry. What would you say? Were you that great of an athlete in the beginning? All right. I mean, you being honest. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't that great, Green. I don't know about you.
Well, if you say he had 2 left feet,
Yeah.
he say he was what? What did you say?
I was a twig
was
with
a
a
twig?
big old bobblehead.
Big old bobblehead. So 2 left feet, a twig, a big old bobblehead. Yeah, he was sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call that sorry.
I was sorry.
But here's more important than what I'm trying to get at, Tre. Right? At some point, something happened. Something had to happen where you felt like you had to get better.
Yeah.
Right? What was that turning point? What was that point where in your early career of basketball, where you figured, look, man, I got to do something different if I want to be great at this sport, especially being your love.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
I'll give you the big one if you want to talk about the whole game, right? It went from, like you said, I played a little bit of football, a couple years, wasn't for me, right? Stick to going basketball, it's me year round. And I played with a lot of different athletes, right? I shout out to my boys, DJ Richardson, Jordan Edwards, Willie Smith, Jordan Smith.
Yeah.
A lot of people know Smith family, Palmetto boys,
Mm-hmm.
right? my dad got on me one day because he told me, he was like, how you going to let them leave? They'll play, right? They come play for the summer, play for that little winter time to the summer, hoop, and they done. They go, they take them off. They go put those cleats on. They out on the field, and you out here on the court all year round, and you gonna let them come back and still be better than you. You let them come back, and they were still better than me. And that was one of those little moments. I'm like, you know what? He not wrong.
Right.
He not wrong.
Right.
So I had to kind of look at myself and be like, all right, I gotta put in the work now. And it wasn't like I said, I was an athlete. So it kind of started off with me really trying to become a student of the game. Right? Really learning how can I make up for, me being slow with 2 left feet. I know where to be at the right place at the right time on the court, right, to kind of beat them to that spot. Then it was just getting in the lab is what they say now. You want to get in there and working your ball handling and shoot.
Right.
Because I couldn't shoot either.
So did you go out and hire this special trainer? Did you take it upon yourself? Did your dad help you out? I mean, how did that happen?
There was no hiring. There was no trainers. It started out. It was definitely my pops and Francine Houston. Those are my two people in my life that were basketball. They were on me, right? And they would have me in there. I was in there hours of the day, right? It just how hard are you gonna work? How hard was I gonna work? What was I gonna do to push myself, to keep myself going when every time, because it started off slow.
Right.
Get a little better, come back, they still better than me. He's
Right.
going by me on defense.
Right.
Right by me.
Right.
Where I'm at on the bench. That's how it went.
Were you?
But see, Trey ain't have no choice though, man. Cause your dad, Ralph and Francine, boy, they stayed in that gym.
I lived in there. I lived in there. We lived in there.
Be honest with you, they need to change that gym name and just say Francine and Ralph Gymnasium. Cause boy, they stayed in that gym, man. You, your little brother, y'all stayed in that gym. Even if you didn't have basketball in your blood, they was gonna put that in you.
Yeah.
They was gonna put that. So it ain't no surprise to me
Right.
by him playing basketball or even being a good shooter or whatever you was good at on that basketball court. If he was a dribbler or a shooter, that ain't no surprise, man. Because Ralph, his dad, loved basketball, boy.
Right.
That man had that Pal gym open, what, every day?
Every day.
Man, you ain't had no choice, Trey. So your 2 left feet was going to be 2 right feet sooner or later. Sooner or later.
So that led to, at some point, though, Trey, you said that, they were still kind of blowing past you. But eventually you caught up, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Eventually you caught up. What year was that? Your junior year or senior year, where you felt like, you was at a point where you can compete at a high level in high school?
I'd say the first time I really felt like I could compete was my sophomore year.
Okay.
Right at freshman year. So freshman, played JV, right, came in, still competing a little bit, but put in a whole lot of work over that summer going to sophomore year, and then I was able to make varsity going in. It's just I had, I think, 9 seniors in front of me.
Yeah.
So it's hard to touch the floor right there.
Oh, that's awesome.
But then that was another chip on my shoulder, because I felt like I should have been playing.
Let's talk about that chip. Because that chip is also what drives us, right?
Yeah.
It kind of puts us in a position where, we're not happy where we are, right? So when we're not happy where we are, either we can just settle and just let it be, or we can do more. So I'm pretty sure with the extra training and everything that you were doing, you could do more.
Oh, yeah.
That led to you guys eventually. Did you become a starter your junior year?
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys became back-to-back district champs.
First in school history.
First in school history.
What?
Back-to-back district champ. Who was your arch rival, would you say? Who was
On
somebody
the team
that you
or playing against?
against?
Oh. Palmetto, I'll give it Jordan Smith. That's who it was. My boy JD.
JD. He was good now.
Yeah, he needs to fill it up, boy.
JD was long. JD is another one that's kind of sprouted out of nowhere.
Hey, JD didn't have no bad shot on the court. When JD step on the court, he open.
He was going to take it. He was going to take it.
Trey, what position you played, Trey, at Braden River? What you was a
I was a combo. 1-2.
1-2?
2. Ran it back and forth.
Yeah. Who was your Braden the River? Who was y'all coach?
Matt Nesser. I believe he's the AD there now.
Oh,
I think
okay,
so.
okay. So you played a little point guard, huh?
Yeah.
That came from Francine right there. Yeah.
Don't let them take it from me. Yeah. You want to talk about sorry? I'll give you this. That's
yeah,
another
yeah.
because you always tell you right. Somebody got to say something to me, and then it's like, all right, I gotta fix it.
Right.
I gotta fix it because I can't be a scrub out here on the court. My dad used to always tell me, I don't know, I don't even know what kind of move it was, but I thought it was good. And he'd be like, hey man, you need to stop doing that little cornbread move. He's always cornbread. You know how many times I heard that? Man, you better stop doing that cornbread move. You ain't getting nobody with that move. I thought I was. I thought it was good.
Right.
Thought I had him. No.
Cornbread.
What's that? The cornbread.
Picked it, took my pocket.
Well, I can hear Ralph saying that too, boy.
Yeah.
Well, Ralph rough on that court, boy. You hear me?
Well, was your dad a basketball player?
Yeah.
He was a basketball player?
Yeah, he hooped.
Okay.
He hooped.
No, not only was your dad a basketball player, your dad was a superhero to me. Let me tell you why your dad was a superhero real quick. Back on my days of being on 33rd, your dad would know this. Being on 33rd. 33rd was, it had its fair share of drug dealers on 33rd.
Yeah,
That thing was big and popping back then.
Okay.
But Green, I don't know if you remember that squad. The drug dealers used to be kind of timid and afraid of this particular group of police officers. Right? Ralph being one of them. Right? So I can remember, man, on 33rd, they would set up, man, with so much drug activity, man, they would come and actually set up a drug sting. I don't think that mess legal these days because back then it was like rules. There was no rules. You can ram cars. You can do whatever. You can do basically whatever you want to do with a crowd of people out there, right? So back then, man, your dad. I used to remember your dad. I can't remember the other guys. Another bigger guy that he used to be with a lot. But when he came, your dad was one of those guys that was a drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He was undercover drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he was good at it, he asked me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I used to sit back and put my lawn chair there. No lie, Trey. With our lawn chair, it had to be the dumbest criminals. If everybody on the third is sitting out in their driveway,
Yeah.
what you buying drugs for? That don't make sense to me. Right? But anyway, man, your dad used to come in, man. He was a good man. He was smooth. He was Denzel Washington type smooth. You know what I'm saying? I remember, man. I asked your dad what this right here mean. Hey, Green. His
Trey.
dad used this right here, Green.
Hey, Trey. He calling your dad a dirty cop.
Hey, Green.
That man see training day. Denzel Washington.
It was good, though.
Hey, what he did, what his dad did.
You know what that meant, Green?
No, what that mean?
That mean bring them boys. Let's go
Get them. Get them.
Go get them. You know what I'm saying?
Them boys coming?
Yeah, man. I love your dad, man. But, man, the thing is, though, I want to get back to you, Trey, real quick. After you graduated from South, but after you graduated from Braden River,
Yeah.
you didn't earn a scholarship, did you?
Not right away.
Not right away.
Not right away, no.
And you end up going to the state college. I think it was called.
It was SCF.
Was it FCF back then?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
SCF. State
So
College of
you
Florida.
end up going there first.
Yeah.
All right. Your first year, were you involved in the basketball program your first year? All right.
Supposed to.
Coach, what's that?
I was supposed to. One of the coaches was scouting me.
Okay.
Then they got a new guy that came in. I don't want to get his name wrong. I can't remember his name. I want to say it was like Coach Erickson or something. Came from out of state, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the assistant coaches, he's already told him about me because the new coach came in. So they came and worked me out. Played some pickup with some guys that he was bringing in. He was bringing in a bunch of guys from out of state. He brought us some dogs.
Yeah.
He brought us some dogs from out of state, right?
Yeah.
We were going at it, right? And he didn't want me.
Right.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But you.
So I ain't mean to cut you off, Real. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What was your average your senior year at Braden River?
Maybe like 18 something. 18 or something.
You averaged 18 points.
Yeah.
And then you went to the state college, and the coach didn't want to give you a workout?
Mm-hmm.
You averaged 18 points?
Yeah.
Well, Green. Here's
Man, they be shaming themselves at CF, man.
well, here's the thing, because basketball is tricky, man, and I agree with what you're saying, right? I agree with what you're saying, and this is kind of what when I look at basketball, the biggest difference between basketball and football is you can do that. You can have 18 points a night, 20 points a night,
Yeah.
but was it more so your measurables that maybe
It could have been a lot of things, man. I'm little. For basketball standards, I'm 5'11", right there underneath that 6 foot, right? I told you I was little coming out of.
Man.
I was little coming out of high school. I was like 5'11", with 130,
Right.
maybe 140, tiny
Right.
guy.
right?
Man, it's a lot of little basketball players out there, man.
It's a lot now, man.
Listen, man. Now, if you would have said I averaged 18 points and I try to walk on at University of Florida or University of Duke,
Yeah.
we can somewhat understand.
Right.
That man said the State College, man.
Well, the state
Right down the road, man.
Hey, listen,
Well, don't
Florida,
get- don't
Florida
get mistaken.
JUCO, Florida
Huh?
JUCO ain't no
Yeah,
joke.
it ain't no joke, Green.
Florida JUCO ain't no joke.
Right.
The damn State College,
That's JUCO.
man. Whoever that coach was need to be shaming themselves, man.
It's the SCF D1 JUCO.
Green, they had some ball players, Green.
Man, this man after 18.
I understand that.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Did they win the state when you was there?
Well,
SCF, did they win the state tournament?
that year that I didn't play,
Yeah.
no, they got disqualified.
Say it again.
They got disqualified.
You got a man walking around campus average 18 points. Man, that ain't the University of Duke down there, man.
God darn it, Green. I mean,
Man, I'm just being real, man. I don't care if they listening to me.
yeah,
Man, that ain't University of Duke down there, man.
I got
That's a
you.
state college.
I got you.
This man was a local player,
Right.
averaged 18 points.
Right.
Man, that's why nobody don't go to them games right now, man.
Hey, Green.
I heard the
we gotta move
doggone.
on. We got to move on, Green.
I heard the doggone basketball program done shut down anyway, man.
Look, Green, we ain't-
Because of stuff like that, man. Man, local player averaged 18 points. Man, go ahead on, man.
So
Ain't no University of Duke over there, man.
But Green, hold on. New
Trey,
coach,
I'm on your side, boy.
Appreciate it.
I'm on your
Appreciate
side,
it.
boy.
new coach came in the next year.
Yes, sir.
Coach Washington,
Yeah, another 941 legend, right?
941 legend, right? Coach Washington gave you an opportunity,
Yes, he did.
and I think
Stop right there. Who gave him opportunity?
Elliot Washington.
Elliot Kane, that's my classmate. One of my best friends.
He gave it to me because I was tearing him up. I was tearing them Southeast boys up.
No, he gave it to you because he know you averaged 18 points coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Elliot know basketball.
right.
Whoever the hell the other coach was, I don't know what he know. When Elliot got the job, what happened, Trey?
I got the spot.
And you also you continue. I believe Coach Elliott may have pushed you to play a little bit more point guard.
Yeah, I had to run the one.
So that combo guard that he was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
you really came out more so and play a lot more point guard.
Yeah.
So playing point guard opposed to playing your shooting guard has a lot more responsibilities.
Oh yeah.
And making sure that you do, it may not come out. He may not go 18 points as a point guard, Green,
Yeah.
because of the more responsibilities you have. How was your experience that year with Coach Elliott?
It was good. Again, like finally being on now a new different team, right? Getting in that college, right? And you got guys coming from all over the state.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just local, right? And again, it's competing, right? I'm competing now with all my teammates for real for a spot, right? So getting out there and then it's a different animal. Just from you talk about varsity, local, and then just going to JUCO. The speed of the game, the size
Yeah.
of the boys is different,
Yeah.
right? The court's longer, it's bigger. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to pick up 94 feet. That was my job. I'm guarding whoever it is got the ball. I'm picking you up as soon as you touch it. And then the same thing, vice versa. Now I got to get that ball down the court, get us in our offense, make sure the ball goes where it needs to go. If it comes back to me and an opportunity comes to score, I score. But other than that, that point guard's responsibility is to run the show.
Right.
Make sure everything's under control. I'm doing what Coach wants. And
Right. Now you were that year. Was that considered your red shirt freshman year, or was that your sophomore year?
I think I just used it as a sophomore because when I came in, I had bright futures, so I still had I had academic scholarship, so I could have redshirted, took 1 year out, but then I'm losing some money somewhere, so I got now the athletic and the academic scholarship, so I think I just used it as my sophomore year.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And you played just that 1 year
Yeah.
under Coach Washington.
Yeah.
Okay. You end up from that point going to South Florida.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you didn't right away start on the boys basketball team.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Same kind of situation. Didn't go right up there and get the spot either.
Right.
Man, don't let me get on. Go ahead. I'm about to get on them too. Man.
So your first year there, you were still doing basketball activities.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. And, I always say, man, when people talk about winning a championship, right? I'm just using this example because I've been in a situation where things just kind of fall in a place where fate is just fate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when fate happens, I don't want to say it's luck. I don't want to say that it's a coincidence. I just want to say it's fate. You've been in the right place, right time. People winning championships. Anything can happen. Somebody may go down the other team. Anything can happen. So the way that the University of Florida got in the national championship, and we won the championship, was because we had to depend on other teams to win, and that's how we got to the championship. So I don't like to say that's luck. That's just fate.
Yeah.
Right. So you were in the right place, right time, doing the right things, right, and you eventually were able to get on to the boys basketball team.
Yes, sir.
How was that process? How did that happen?
Okay, so transferred in. My mindset was, hey, I'm good enough. I can go here and I can walk on. I can get this spot. That's how I felt, right? So I came in, normal single day walk on tryout, right? You come in, it's probably like 60 guys looking for one spot. We thought I'll come back to that, right? They do drills, skills and drills, and then you just going. You're running up and down and going, right? And I think I had a good showing. I know I had a good showing. I came out, and at the end of the day, they were like, hey, come over here. Coaches that were there, probably like, I think two of the assistant coaches, head coach wasn't there. Two of the assistant coaches called me over and was like, hey, what's your name? We're going to write you down. Let you know we got a spot for you. Thing was, some D1 schools that required to have that walk-on trial. They didn't have a spot. They didn't have a spot. The walk-ons were filled. The scholarship spots were filled. So it was more of I was a reserve if something was to happen.
Right.
So next thing you know, things are finishing up, and I got some guys coming over from walking from the other side of the gym, stopped me, like, hey, won't you, things might not go exactly how you're going to expect with this. You're probably not going to get a call next week. I work over here with the women's team. We need some practice squad. They like to take guys that come through that can play and use them as a scout team for the women's team. So I was like, hey, I still want to get in shape. I still want to play. I was like, yeah, there we go. So I hopped on and I was running a scout team with the women's team, and they're always the top team. USF women's basketball is top 25 almost every single year, right? So ran with them majority of the year, and then we're gonna talk about fate. Like, this is how it happens. Like, we were, I think, done with the practice, and we were like, hey, let's run. We were just playing some pickup, and coaches from the men's team were walking through like, hey, we want to run too. So most assistant coaches, one specifically, y'all know Rod Strickland?
Yes.
Y'all know Rod Strickland, right?
That's an NBA right there.
NBA legend, right?
Legend right there, baby.
He was the main guards coach for the men's team, right? And we're running, so
you was there with Rod. Okay, I remember.
Yeah, I was there with Rod. He was the assistant coach, right?
Okay.
So we're running up and down, and he liked what he saw. He wasn't at the walk-on trial. He wasn't at the walk-on trial. And I still remember we're going. He's like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm just me. I'm just hooping." Told him who I am. We're just going. We start going at it again. Hop on the same team. We don't lose. And he's like, "I'll be back." Walked out. Next day, I got a call. The next day, I was on the team.
What? Boy, that's big. Listen. Facebook. All y'all young people, if y'all don't know who Rod Strickland is, Google him up. NBA legend. Now listen, I'm going back to the State College. I'm going back to State College, real. You got a coach at the State College. Didn't give his brother a chance. His brother from Manatee County. This brother averaged 18 points. It ain't like State. I'm gonna say it again. It ain't like that's Duke out there or no North Carolina. That's State College, man. This guy lead a State College, walk on at South Florida, play with Rod Strickland, an NBA legend point guard, and he seen you and told you, man, I got to have you on the team. Basically, that's what he said.
That's what happened.
Come on, man.
I don't know who that coach was at MCC, boy. Obviously, he have on his shade. He might have had on hater blockers. He needed some glass. He had on hater blockers, boy. But that's real, though. Hey, Trey, I'm telling you, Trey, listen. I haven't seen you in so many years. I think last time I seen you, you was slim, you know, little old Trey, man. See, I didn't know the story about how you got to South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you played at South Florida, and I heard you did play for Elliott at State College. Elliott, that's my boy.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of like let me know what was going on throughout his coaching career. I remember you was on his team, but I didn't know how you got to South Florida.
Yeah.
And by you telling me Rod Strickland validated that,
That's awesome.
that boy can play, man.
That's awesome.
This NBA player, Rod Strickland.
That's awesome. So
That's big, Trey.
So when you talk about, all right, so that's a good example because I always think there's always going to be a player that feels like if it's validated or not, they feel like I should be a part or I should be actually more engaged in what's going on the team, right? I can only imagine, you know, it was such an accomplishment and you're happy to be a part of the team, but I'm pretty sure you wanted more. All right, because a true athlete just wants more, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this: out of all what we just kind of discussed, what were some of the things that you took away and learned from just that process of going through State College, then USF, and being walking on and earning that spot and just, you know, becoming, especially, I don't know, you're probably 21, 22 years old at the time. What are some of the things that you were able to gain from that experience?
I think the biggest thing is perseverance, right? Like, you don't give up. If you want something, you can put in the work. A lot of people will doubt you. A lot of people will tell you, hey, man, this ain't for you, right? And you can just give up right then and just be like, you know what, you're right. For me, I just decided, hey, if you push, if you put in the work, if you get in the right place, right time, you know, things will most likely work out. And if they don't, it don't mean stop. It means keep going. So just knowing that, you know, having pride and belief in yourself and then having that work ethic, you can do a lot. That was probably the biggest thing.
Right.
Big up, boy. So Trey, how you felt, man, when Rod Strickland say, hey, man, you can play? I mean, did you know who Rod Strickland was, though, at the time?
I knew who he was. Had I ever watched his highlights at the time? I'm young.
Yeah, you young.
I'm young. I had watched his highlights? Nah.
But when you find out who he was, that made you feel like, okay, I can play this game.
Yeah.
So when you made a team and you put that South Florida jersey on your first game, how did that make you feel?
Hey, man, it feels good, but it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. That was your parents there?
Oh, yeah.
It was there?
They came. I got them to. They got tickets to every home game.
Yeah. That's big, that Trey, man. That's big. So like I say, Trey, I didn't know, man. I'm telling you, when Real told me that you was gonna be our guest, you know, some months ago, I say, boy, look, I can't wait for this because I want to see. I want to hear what Trey had to talk about. I want to hear Trey's story. I want to hear Tre Bryant's story, man. So I'm here, man. My ears are wide open, boy.
Well, listen, I had an opportunity to speak with Coach Elliott, and I asked Coach Elliott, what are some attributes that you can share with me about Trey? This is some of the things he said. Team guy, a no-nonsense guy, right? Hard worker. He was a combo guard. He was a leader, right? And one thing he says is that leadership can't always be taught.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you get that from? Just that leader thing.
My dad. Him, he's my example my whole life, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've seen him be real straight-laced with somebody. If he's got to get on you, he's going to get on you. But then he also knows how to bring everybody together, right? A lot of it comes from example. Show you first, right? Be that bigger person in most situations, and the right way to communicate to others. So it just it came natural just watching him all those years. So just knowing, hey, you might have messed up. That's fine. I don't care. All right. You made a mistake. It's good. Don't do it again. Got you. All right. Take that shot. I don't care. Every time you take a shot, it's a good shot.
Right.
I'm gonna let you know that. That's
Right.
like kind of one of those things. Like you got teammates that are out there that get on their guys. Every single time you take a shot, you're like, come on, man.
Right.
I don't want to play with you. Don't want to play with anybody like that.
Right.
Reggie, shoot that thing. Hey, that's good, Reggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
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 Oh, don't worry. You got the next one.
Yeah.
You got the next one.
Yeah.
It's kind of how
Yeah.
I learned it from him.
Well, let's stay on Elliott right quick. Hold on, real.
Mhm.
What did you learn from Elliott? You know, Elliott, he was a point guard in high school. You know, he was my point guard at Southeast. We came out in '89, and he also was a point guard at, we called it MCC back in
Yeah,
the day.
MCC before Bama.
Yeah. And then he went on from MCC to Alabama as a point guard.
Mhm.
So what did you learn from him as a basketball player? What's some of the things you learned from him, like what you took from him?
He was probably the one that helped me take from a point guard standpoint, like really kind of controlling my pace, right? Don't let that guy in front of me speed you up. You know, we're going to make this read at being strong with your body and then still communicating, seeing what's going on. Because most of the time I was running off the ball, right? I'm going to come off the screen. I'm trying to curl and catch and shoot.
Right.
Now,
Right.
all right, I got to be able to get this thing in the right spot. Make sure I'm not starting the offense too early. Okay, so how I got it, man, this guy's on me. Give him a little bump. Call your set. Pull your man up. If I need a ball screen, call the big over here. If you're not coming, you better get over here. Right? He told really be kind of stern. That's that point, that floor general.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I got that part of my
Yeah.
game because I had to acclimate. Right?
Right.
Little had to be the point guard. Got to run it.
Wow. And I can see that now, Trey. I see you sometimes when you play those games, the pickup games, or just with your team, man. You exude that. I see it. Right. So, life after basketball. Right. First of all, how was that transition? Because sometimes it can always be a tough transition. Going from, being a Division I athlete to now having to transition into, that day-to-day walk of just a thing called life. How was that transition from basketball to life?
It wasn't easy because I didn't know what to do. All I knew was basketball.
Right.
Basketball, school. Actually, probably the biggest thing that hurt was my body.
Yeah.
Physically, right? You take for granted, especially at D1. You probably know all the gadgets and all the stuff, the treatment you get to keep your body going while you pushing through things.
Yeah.
Probably a month after I was done, I didn't have access to it.
Yeah.
Thought I ran into a wall.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But just knowing that, all right, now I got to actually start thinking about life. All right? I thought, people tell you after high school, life starts.
Yeah.
If you go to college, it don't start yet. You still a student.
Yes, sir.
After that, it was like, okay, I got to get a job.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I got to make some money.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm a freeloader now.
Yeah.
I'm staying at the house with no job. So
Yeah.
that was kind of like the biggest shock factor. But I was ready. I knew what I wanted to do at the time. It's not what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
But I kind of knew the path in which I had wanted to go already. So it kind of helped as far as that transition.
Now, did you, your dad and Francine's been running the Powell Basketball League for years.
Yeah.
And
I'm talking about for years.
for
boy.
years. So
I was born.
I know you got involved in that program.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you have probably noticed with kids, kids are going to be kids. It's going to be a development thing. It's going to be different. You're going to have to be patient sometimes. You're going to have to be hard at sometimes. Whatever it is, dealing with kids, right?
Yeah.
But it's not always easy to transition to being a coach.
Oh,
Because
no.
some coaches can't coach. That's just be frank.
You're right.
They don't know how to coach,
Yeah.
right? But being that your dad was a good example of how to be a coach, and I would say Ralph is a darn good coach, based off some of the things that you just said and some of the things I saw him, right? Being able to just see your dad go through that process of being a coach and dealing with kids, did you take a little bit from your dad, from Coach Washington to your USF coach? I mean, how did you kind of manage that?
Yeah, it was like a mixture of everybody, right? I took whether it was demeanor, right, how you communicate to your players and your team, and all the kids, or it's tactics, right? Different things. So I took something from everybody, right? Kind of morph it together, and then you find your own way, and then you become who you are as a coach, figuring out, okay, I can do it this way, but that's not really me, right? And then is this how these players respond to that? Like, you got a coach sometimes that can be stern, right? And he'll yell. You got some screamers out there, and they scream at every single player,
Right.
And then you realize that, okay, that works with these two. Like, they're like, yes, coach. And this other guy, he's like, man, I ain't listening to you. Or you got this kid that's gonna turn into a little shell of himself, right? So now it's learning, right? He doesn't know. As far as a coach, now I got to teach you. If you don't know, then I got to show you what it is. If we keep going over it again and again, okay, now it's time for me, okay, we're going to be a little less tolerant right now because we've gone over this.
Right.
Told you don't step up and give up that back door.
Right.
You said it 5 times in the last 3 games. So if you do it this time, you've already realized you're going to hear that
Yes.
you're going to hear that buzzer because you're coming right to the bench.
Come on after the bench.
You're coming over.
Right.
We don't have time for it.
Right.
So, it's just taking those little things and then using them. Some of them may work for me, some of them don't. And then kind of figuring out, how do I want to be? How do I want to be seen as a coach, right?
Yeah, and coaching them little kids like that, boy, you got to have a whole lot of patience, man. And, boy, I'm telling you, boy, your dad and Francine been running that. Man, it's probably the best amateur basketball league in the county. Because they've been running that PAL thing for how long? At least, I know, over 20 years.
It's about as long as I've been
Yeah,
going,
'cause
and
I remember-
I'm getting up there.
Man, Trey coached my daughter. My daughter was like 5 years old when Trey coached. Now, my daughter didn't play.
Right.
She was on the team.
Right.
Man, I got a picture of my daughter, man. She just laying down on the sideline, man. 5 years old, man. It's chilling. But the thing is, though, but Trey, the patience that you got to have to be a coach first, and the patience you got to have to even coach them little kids, man.
Right.
Because the first thing, I like what he said. Sometimes you got to understand, you got to know your players.
Right.
Because you might can yell at little T Green,
Right.
but you can't yell at little Reggie.
Right.
You know, because if you yell at little Reggie, you might shut him down.
Yeah.
Right.
That might pump little T Green up.
Right.
So as a coach, you got to know how to balance that.
Right.
But you got some coaches out there don't even care. They gonna coach the way they coach. If you like it, you like it. If not, But you got to learn how to balance it, man. And Trey did a good job. He's still doing a good job. I don't know if he's still coaching. He's still coaching that PAL?
This year, I've taken a back step where I'm more of like helping coach the coaches.
Yeah.
Right, with each one of our grade levels. But normally, I'm running the high school teams.
Okay.
I'm traveling, getting them out of state, trying to get them in front of some college coaches.
Okay.
So here's the thing, Trey, and I'm glad you talk about balance because we went this route as far as your journey because you started off as a little twig that couldn't play at all, right?
2 left feet.
2 left feet.
That's what
right?
he say.
To being able to get coached up by certain people that develop your game a little bit better, to you going to the state college, experiencing failure initially, right? And then gaining some confidence by the next head coach that came through. Being able to get validated at USF by a pro athlete, right? To being able to come home and get into coaching, right? So now, that's sports, right?
Yeah.
But we said life starts. And your team sports and all the things that you've been through have led to you now being in a career that also takes teamwork.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of teamwork. And I will say all those things you experience is probably to help you become the person who you are, right? One thing I can say, Trey, is right now, you shared with me some things that thoroughly just impressed me. I'm just be honest. With your commitment, with your drive, with your passion, with your determination, have that leadership component, like Coach Elliott said. I can see you one day being, I don't know if it's the chief is the top nacho, lieutenant, whatever that position is. I can definitely see that for you, right? How some of those things you learned from team sports, how does that relate to you being a firefighter today?
So, biggest thing I can say is, just like you said, right, being a firefighter and working with my crew, it's a whole nother team. It's the same thing. I just see it as another sport, right? Just with different physical demands, right? All of us are different. We come from different places, right? You have different quirks. You have different quirks, right? I can communicate to you differently than I communicate to you different, right?
Right.
So same thing there, right? As a leader, that's a little bit harder as far as because where I'm at, like, I'm the young guy, I'm the low man on my crew, right? But I still, I'm still try to be the hardest worker out there, right? Come out, I'm too competitive to not try to be the best at what I'm doing.
Right.
So when we're out here going at it and doing and getting job done on the ground, on the fire ground, or whether it's during training, I'm balls to the wall. I'm that workhorse, as my LT would say, my lieutenant. So just knowing those different things, bringing in all my experiences of how to communicate with guys and the work ethic, all that comes together because we make a mistake on the basketball court, right? It's a game. Right. We lose.
There we go.
But we good, right? If I make a mistake on a bad fire, it could be my life, it could be my crewmate's life, or whoever. If there happens to be, God forbid, somebody in a house that's on fire, that could be something that leads to their life, right? Yeah. So it's just I look at it as higher stakes, and just really taking in everything I have to be the best. Know what I'm doing, right? If a student of the game, as far as basketball, I think I'm a student of fire too.
Right.
Man, boy. So you a fireman, Tre?
Yeah.
So Tre, hold on, man. But your dad been in the sheriff department. How long?
Oh, he's almost done. He's about 30.
So how you bypass being working for the sheriff department to be a fireman?
I tried to get with them.
I'm finna say, man.
I tried.
You tried?
Yeah. Didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
I won't go into details, but it didn't work out. I tried a couple times, and I'm always been involved with the community, right? And it's funny. I got it as one of my interview questions. They always ask you like why you want to be a firefighter, right? And I actually enjoy helping and working, teaching others, right? And being able to give back to the community around me. I've been doing it my whole life. So whether I was going to do it as a law enforcement officer, and now I looked into this new path as being a firefighter and working in the medical field too, right? I was like, hey man, I'm gonna give this a shot.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Turns out it was good.
So it makes something, Tre. As a kid, coming up, with T Green, I'm 53 years old, so
getting younger.
Every time we see firemen on TV, whether it's a cartoon, whether it's a movie, it be like y'all be asleep at the fire station, y'all sleep, and then a bell ring off, y'all have to jump up and y'all slide down the pole. Is it really a pole in y'all room where y'all just slide down?
My station is one floor, so we have no pole. But there are departments that do have a pole. If you on the second floor and you sleeping on the second floor and it comes out, you can slide down the pole. They took them out a lot because people get hurt. you mess around and get hurt going down the pole, and now I can't even go to the call. So they took them out of some stations.
Everybody wanted to be a fireman, back in my day when we was little kids. We just want to slide down that pole, man.
It was cool. Cool. Like, okay, let's slide down the pole before we go to this fire. You know what I'm saying?
So do y'all? Because I got a couple of firemen that used to come through here. Mm-hmm. All right, and they used to tell me they have to be there 24 hours.
Yeah, I work 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. once every 3 days.
24 hours?
I just worked 48 hours.
What do you mean? Straight?
Yeah, I got started 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. I got off this morning at 7 a.m.
What, Tre? So y'all stay right there on the what y'all call the yard, the plant,
the station. Station. So think of it, it's another house. Reggie got to visit. I gave him a little tour. He came by. So think of it as it's another house, right? Yeah, we got the big bay with the engines and all the fun stuff. But then when I go in there, I got my own room. Yeah. Got my own bunk. We got a kitchen. We got a locker room. Yeah. Everything that we need to stay there. We go buy our own food. We cook. We clean. We sleep. We live with each other. I live with them 121 days out the year. What? 1/3 of the year I'm with these guys.
So now, being a fireman, y'all don't just only put out fires. What else y'all y'all have to go to clubs and buildings. And they say the fire marshal coming if it's too many people in the club or too many people in the building.
Yeah, we're not. I'm not coming to kick nobody out of the building.
Yeah.
But you would look at it. We're all hazards, right? So primarily here in Florida, it's medical. Probably like 90% of the stuff we run is medical calls. So I go to anywhere, whether you call 911, right? You're gonna get fire and you're gonna get EMS, right? You can get the ambulance and you can get the fire truck. We're all trained and certified the same way as EMTs and paramedics. So same things, we do the same things as far as handling medical calls, right? I run fires. Different types of fires, car fires, dumpster fires, boat fires, plane fires, all those, right? And then car accidents. Run a lot of car accidents, right? We show up to those, and we deal with any type of traumatic incidents. Other cool things from our department is we have a dive team, which I'm currently in the process of getting on. So I'm going through a couple. I think I got through 3 classes. I'm in one right now. So anytime you have somebody like boat, people that's gone down in the water, right? Throw on your scuba tank, we go in there and go and search for them. And we do technical rescue and hazmat. We got a bunch of stuff.
I'm glad you answered that question because I used to always wonder why the fire department always show up when the paramedics.
A lot of it's because since they transport to the hospital, right? We go back to the station, right? So if a call came in, we show up first while they're probably coming back from a longer distance. So whether you get them first or us first, you're going to have 4 or 5 people that can show up, and we're going to try to help make your day a whole lot better than what it is if you had to call 911.
Okay.
So I think about the military. They have the Purple Heart. I'm not exactly sure. I just hear Purple Heart. So I'm assuming they did something great. Save lives. I don't know what the Purple Heart for, but the Purple Heart is there.
Yeah.
I hear that. Right, and that's awarded to soldiers or people in the military for things they've done.
Mm-hmm.
In the fire department, do they have any such awards where if you save a life or you've been recognized for saving a life when you've been out, is there any type of award that they give?
There's one that I know of specifically. It's called like the Phoenix Award, right? So if you have somebody that goes into cardiac arrest, right, the heart stops, and you show up, and put the pads on them, CPR, everything. If you get that life back, you're eligible for what's called the Phoenix Award, like a rebirth. We brought them back from nothing.
Got you.
That's one.
Got you.
So Trey, you got that call yet? You know how the people be calling to hey, my cat stuck up in the top of the tree. You got that call yet to go save the cat?
I specifically have not. Funny thing is, we had one yesterday at the department. It wasn't in a tree, but it somehow got stuck in like their dash in the car. Like it crawled into their car in the dash, and then we had one of our crews had to come in and take the bumper and everything off the car to get the cat out of the car.
Wow.
God.
Wow.
That's what I say. So y'all firemen, they do more than just put out fire.
Yeah.
Y'all do a whole lot of stuff, man. That's crazy. That's big though.
So what's your aspiration in the fire department? Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to get accomplished?
So it's right now where I see myself or where I want to be for the majority of my career. So right now you got 30 years before you're eligible for retirement. Right, majority of that I think I really want to be a lieutenant. Right, so right now I'm a firefighter. The next step is engineer. That's the guy who drives the truck and runs the pump. Right. Gets water to me so I can try to put out some fire. Although technically that's not what I do. If you want to go into that, I'm on a different type of apparatus with the big ladder. I run the ladder truck.
Okay.
Big one, right. We like to break stuff. That's what we do.
No, break stuff.
Yeah. We specialize in forcing entry and then search and rescue, things like that. We have some water on our truck, but it's not a lot. You got a truck and you got an engine. The engine has a lot of water. They're responsible for putting the fire out. We're going in and searching for victims. So that's kind of what I do. But lieutenant, that's a spot that really has resonated with me because of where I come from coaching. It's just my lieutenant. I love my lieutenant. Right. He knows what he's doing, and he's calm. He's cool and collected. He doesn't lose himself when we're on like an intense call, and he's not a micromanager. I don't know if you guys work with somebody that's a micromanager. Like he'll be like, hey, get that door open.
Yeah.
He doesn't care how I get the door open.
Yeah.
As long as I get the door open, right? And we can get inside and go do what we do. So between that, the way we train, and he goes about his day as far as making sure everybody is up to par and ready to do what we need to do when time comes. That's That's why I like
How do y'all? Oh, I'm sorry, Real.
Yeah.
But how do y'all know where to start? Say y'all get a call.
Yeah.
And you got this big 2-story or 3-story building that's already on fire, already in flames. When y'all pull up to the fire, how do y'all know where to start shooting the water?
So
the fire is up.
That's the cool thing about it. It's like we already got a game plan, right? So we have our guidelines that have already kind of mapped out how we're going to approach whether we come to a fire that's for a single-story family like most of us live in, a multi-story, a big commercial building. We already know how many units are going there, and then you got responsibilities depending on who shows up first, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in a row. You show up first. If you're the lieutenant for that one, your job is to do a size up, right? So you're going to show up. You see that, right? If you see smoke and flame showing from this area of the building, you're going to radio that, hey, I've got smoke and flame showing from Division 2. That'd be the second floor. On the Charlie side, that'd be the rear of the building, right? And you're going to be like, I need this unit here. He decides. Lieutenant decides. Are we going through the front door? Is the building so far gone that we're not even going to go inside? So we're just going to be pulling multiple lines and getting water from a hydrant so that we could just go defensive, protect the structures around it. It all comes down to that lieutenant, his responsibility of one, knowing how to read that situation. If I come as a point guard, right, or the coach, I see, hey, this team they've been running a 1-3-1 all game, right? But then they like to trap in the corner, right? So I got to let my players know, hey, when you get that ball to the corner, you should already know you need to either hit baseline or you need to be looking to skip, find the middle guy, get it out of the corner, right? My lieutenant knows, hey, he sees fire here. Well, this is where we got to go. If you show up and you don't see fire, now we got to investigate. We're gonna go in. We got to locate it, and go about it that way. So there's a bunch of it's dynamic. That's what I love about it. Right, just like basketball, man. Yeah. So many different variables, and you take classes for know how to read building construction and smoke and flame, and it's pretty.
Y'all can't have no fear, boy. Y'all see that fire, boy. Y'all got to go through it.
We're a little crazy. We're a little crazy. I kind of like it. I want that big fire.
Would you say a little fear is good though?
Yes, because it helps you. It helps you be smart. But at the same time, I look at it as if your house is on fire and your kids are in there, you don't care. You want me to go get them. Right. You want me to put that thing out, and you want me to show up and come get your kids and save your property if possible. Right. So I'm not even thinking about that. I might walk up in there and it's gonna be hot.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hot. Yeah. I don't have time to worry about that.
Yeah. Well, Trey, I wanna do this real quick. Yeah, because I know you were you hold the all-time 3-point leader at Braden River. Oh, okay. But also, thinking about what are some things you shared with me a story about a test that you guys had about breaking into a door. Oh. And you sat there and you watched a couple apartments go through it. I would say that was an amazing accomplishment. Uh-huh. Share that story real quick.
Oh, all right. It's hard to do that without. I don't want to put anybody else down, right? But we all know that you show up prepared for the level of your training, right? You show up, you run your drills, you know your routes. You're probably going to perform and do them how you need to do it, right? So we like to hold co-ops or big trainings with multiple departments in the county and they put you through a scenario, live fire. They set this big Connex box building on fire, and you go through a scenario of getting in, putting the fire out, finding victims, and clearing it, right? And so we've been hearing we were going in. My crew was going in on the third day, and we were hearing all day that everybody was struggling with getting through this door. And we're struggling getting through the door. So we're like, man, my lieutenant looks at me. He's like, Trey, you gonna get through that door? I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna get through that door. And we get out there, and sure enough, they say at the beginning, hey, man, people have been struggling with the door. It's pretty tough. We're going to give you 2 minutes. We'll give you 2 minutes. If you can't get through that door, go around it. And my lieutenant looks at me. He's like, man, you can get through that door. Because all I'm thinking is if we wait 2 minutes,
right,
that's the 2 minutes to get through that door. That's a bad day for anybody who's inside.
Right.
Right. So it was our time to go, and 20 seconds.
3.
I got through the door in 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
20 seconds.
20 seconds.
So mind you, departments have had struggled. Matter of fact, they've reached the 2-minute mark, and some had to go around. Right.
I'm not saying.
So
I'm not putting it.
So he managed to get up, and he got there and crashed the door. Well, not crash. He didn't crash. He used his technique to get through that door in 20 seconds. The reason why I wanted you to share that story is because a lot of times, in moments of when you don't have much time to think, you had the opportunity to look and thought about what you were going to do and your strategy, thinking about how you're going to accomplish getting through that door. But in sports, it's technique, right? It's sports. If you're trying to get to the highest of the high, you're using technique.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. So that's one example where I can say, man, like all that stuff that you've been through with sports, it transitions and helps you in some type of way in being a firefighter. And that's why I say, man, someday I just see you because you're doing all the right things. I want to say congratulations to you. I want to just thank you for being able to service Lee County the way that you do, man. And hopefully you get back to Manatee County one day and service this area.
Because we have a legendary firefighter here in Manatee County. The first African American fighter in Manatee County. That was Michael Lowe.
Right.
Michael Lowe, baby.
Right.
Michael Lowe Sr.
Right.
He was the first African American firefighter here in Manatee County.
So
So Trey, you might need to meet him, Trey. That man, Trey, he might can show you something, man. He might can tell you something. He a legend.
Okay. Wait, was he a captain? He was a captain. Was the first captain?
Michael Lowe.
Yeah. You know who that person is? Okay. Hey.
They say Michael Lowe show up to a fire, boy. He can blow it out with his mouth. He was so good, boy. He can see it. Blow it out with his mouth, boy.
Oh my God.
Michael Lowe, baby.
Well, Trey, man, I want to just say, man, I want to say this to you before, we're going to close this show out. But it's been amazing to kind of go through your story, man, and see where you are now, right? Yeah. And I want to say just continue doing what you're doing, from being a firefighter to being able to work with the kids. You bring, I'm speaking firsthand, you bring so much to being able to work with those kids that them kids even realize what you're doing, right? So I want to thank you for being a real coach. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so refreshing to see the details. It's so refreshing to understand that film study does so much for you. It's so refreshing to hear where, the concepts and the terminology that you use at a high level terminology, that those things can be transitioned to our kids because they can learn and they'll benefit from that later. So I just want to thank you because it's awesome to see that. I know you're going to do great. Whatever it is that you put your hands on, I know you're going to be great. And here's another thing. You're going to be great at being a dad, too. Tre Bryant. You're going to be great at being a dad, too.
We're going to step into fatherhood, baby.
Yes, sir. So just thank you, man, for just being the person that you are and taking those life lessons and applying those to yourself and also giving those things to the other kids as well. So thank you. We have this thing that we do now before we close out the show. We have this thing called Truth or Share.
Okay.
All right. So Truth or Share is a segment that we do somewhat like Truth and Dare. Of course, we can't do Truth and Dare. We can't tell you, hey, Green, go burn up the back of your house, about the barbershop, and let's see if Trey can put it out.
We'll see what Trey knows.
We'll
see how Trey knows.
Let's see really what he knows.
See what Trey knows, boy.
So we can't do that, Trey.
Here we good.
No, we ain't gonna play that type of game, boy.
We can't do that, Trey.
Ain't gonna burn it up, baby. You have to see.
But what we can do is we can do a game what we call Truth or Share. Okay. So we're gonna ask you to pick a number to 1 to 5. 1 to 5. We're gonna have you pick that number. We're gonna read that off to you, and we just want you to share the answer.
Trey
all right?
looking nervous. Trey looking like
1 to
man.
5.
Man, what y'all about to do?
Trey,
1 to 5, Trey. 1 to 5.
Go.
Hey, real Trey looking nervous.
I'm like, yeah, man.
1 to 5, Trey.
Good,
1 to
Trey.
5.
You good,
We're gonna split it right down the center. Give me 3.
3. All right.
Oh man,
He told, oh man, Trey.
don't do it to me.
Personality wise, are you more like your mom or your dad?
My dad. Easy.
Elaborate.
Oof. I'm just a mini him. That's the best way I can explain it. Like, we have the same mannerisms.
But yes, sir.
Walk
Yes,
the same
sir.
way.
Boy,
Talk
yes,
the same way.
sir.
Everybody
Yes,
say I'm just a
sir.
light-skinned version of
Boy,
him.
you just a light-skinned version, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a little bit of an attitude.
Uh-huh.
I no tolerance for anything.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a neat freak.
Yeah.
Right? I can't stand stuff being out. So I gotta clean. I'm always cleaning.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But,
That's your dad.
Always cleaning something. We gotta be on time.
Yeah.
Right? We're not being late to anything. All right. So
Right.
like my mom I'm not putting. I love you, mom. I love you, mom. I mean, I could just be women in general, right? You know that y'all can get me in trouble, right? But they like to take the time with stuff and care. I mean, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Me, you said what? What time we gotta be there? Okay, we gonna be there at that time.
Right. Right.
But see, it ain't that bad.
Okay, not that
It wasn't
bad.
that
Yeah,
bad.
right, right.
Pick another little Trey.
Oh, whoa. All right, give me 2.
2.
What was your biggest childhood fear?
Biggest fear? Falling from somewhere very high. I'm afraid of heights. I was afraid of heights. Anyway, I'm paranoid. Like we stayed in a hotel or somewhere. Right,
Yeah.
me as a little kid, I'm just think there's a window there. I don't think there's a window there. I feel like if I'm gonna go to that window, care how secure it is, right? There's no latches. It doesn't
Yeah.
open. If I touch it, I'm gonna fall and I'm gonna hit the pavement. It's
Right.
a wrap.
My goodness, boy.
It's a wrap.
That's so crazy he say that because he a fireman.
Yeah.
It gonna be some days you got to take that ladder.
Oh, I go up on it every shift.
He go on it.
I took him up there.
So you're not afraid. Real, you went up there? I'm
Yeah, he took me up there.
talking about you climbed the ladder?
Oh, he ain't
ain't
climbing.
climbing.
I
I
got
got
a
that
bucket.
bucket.
We got a bucket, so I can take you up. It's 100 feet.
Listen,
Ooh, Real, you went up there?
I think he took me 200 feet. Man, listen. I can't do it. I acted like I was good.
Yeah.
I really was good. Though, you know what I'm saying?
So Trey,
need
so
some doubt.
you don't be afraid of heights. You're not afraid of heights no more. Oh, well, you probably be in your comfort zone at work.
It's more of I'm focused on my task.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I'm not really
Yeah.
focused on how high up I am or where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm more like, okay, I got to do what I got to do because I've even like we rappelled too. I'm not on our technical rescue team, but I've also rappelled off the side of a building.
Okay.
I mean, that was scary.
Yeah.
But when I was already out there, I'm like, I'm here. It's time
Time
to
to
go.
go.
You were using that bucket?
I was in the bucket.
Oh, he was excited. He was like, man, he was about to apply.
Now,
Real,
He was ready to apply.
hey Trey, one more. One last one.
Give me 4.
4.
What was the weirdest way you've met someone you now consider a close friend?
Weirdest way I've met someone? I don't think I've ever met somebody in a weird way. You might have to go to a different question. I don't got nothing good for you there. Let's give me something else. I can't think of a weird way.
Because
I've
of your
met
line of work, I think this one is appropriate. If your house caught on fire and you could only save 3 things beside people, what would they be?
3 things. Can I categorize all my basketballs into one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's probably one of my weird quirks. So like some people collect things, I collect basketballs. So like, you got genuine leather, real basketballs. It's like you could go buy a ball from Dick's, right? And it's like $45. I'll spend like a couple $100 on some basketballs and they on a single ball. It'll last you like 10 years, right? The ball, they're all still good. That's one.
Basketballs, okay.
All right.
All right.
My phone.
Your phone.
My phone.
Okay, 2.
And dang, what's the other thing? What's important in the house? That's not a person. We not including animals, right? Is that
No, that's
probably
good.
gotta
Yeah,
say
that's
probably
good.
gotta say the dog,
Yeah.
No, you got to
or
say
else
the
I'm
dog.
gonna
gotta
get
say
it,
that
or else
dog,
I'm gonna
boy.
get a divorce.
Yeah, you got to say that dog. You got to
say that dog, boy.
You got to say that dog.
Yes, sir, boy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I've had the opportunity to meet your wife and the pleasure of working with your wife. It's so funny, man. Like, when she first got, because I didn't know who you married at first. So when she got the job, I knew her name was Miss Bryant, but I didn't piece it together, right? And I've seen her before, but I just didn't piece it together. So, I just like to get, I'm starting too early, but I just want to say, man, I enjoy working with your wife. She's a great person, really strong in the school, man, and such a pleasure. Once again, I didn't know she was pregnant. When I found out, I saw her.
I didn't know she was pregnant.
And, it's not, do I say something or not? Is she bloated or is she pregnant? You know what I'm saying?
Boy, hey, that's one thing you got to be careful, boy. You got to be careful, man.
Yeah.
If you see a girl walk around and her belly kind of big, you might not need to ask her if she's pregnant because she say, no, I ain't pregnant. But that's like, that ain't good, real.
Guess what I did? I waited.
Yeah, man.
I waited. All right, Green, man. Hey, man.
Just because a girl got a belly, don't mean she pregnant.
That's right.
Boy, so don't ask that kind of question, boy.
Hey, Trey, we also got this segment where my boy Green give his flowers, man. So we going to go that real quick.
Yes, sir, Trey. You know what I do, Trey? I give flowers to people that I see and that I touch. When they doing something real good for the community and doing something good for themselves and their family, man. So, man, just hearing your story tonight, Trey, like I say, man, I haven't seen you in years. I see Trey swole up in this thing, man.
Yeah.
This boy a firefighter, man.
Absolutely.
Man, so that's good, man. Big ups to your family, man, Ralph, bro. Your mom, Lori. Man, that's good, man. That's good, man. So I give my flowers to you, man. Give my flowers to you, man. So keep up the good work, boy. You finna get into this fatherhood. Yes, sir. But I'm giving my flowers to you again for that fatherhood, but that's gonna be some work, boy.
Absolutely.
Some work.
So we're gonna finish off with what we do is shout outs. All right. So we typically give our shout outs to whoever, whatever it is that you want to give shout outs to, you can. But Green gonna show us how. He gonna start this thing off.
Man.
So God, Bob, what you got to shout out for?
But look. Mine be simple. My wife and kids, of course. That's number one. But I also want to give a shout out to my family in Georgia, man. God, boy, they showed me and my wife a great time, man. I mean, it wasn't a surprise,
right,
that they showed us a good time, but that's my family,
right.
And I had a great time, man. So I want to give a shout out to all my family in Georgia, man. My aunties, my cousins, man. A big hug. I love y'all, man. I'm coming back. To Georgia. I'm going to catch that midnight train to Georgia. Gladys Knight, baby.
Hey, well, agree, man. I got two shout-outs, man. It's two shout-outs.
Okay.
We gonna, like he said with basketball, he got a lot of basketball. He had leather, platinum leather, silver, gold. He got a lot of basketball.
Yeah.
So I want to give a shout-out, one, man, to our past guests for this season. Each season brings a unique turn and twist.
Yes, sir.
And I want to definitely give a shout out to all of our season 7 guests.
Yes, sir.
This past season, we had a great time. Thank you so much for joining us this season, and we look forward to the next. My second shout out, I want to give a shout out to Pal basketball. I want to give a shout out to Ralph. I want to give a shout out to Francine. I want to give a shout out to all the volunteers that take part in that program and all the coaches. All the parents that get involved. I want to give a huge shout out to that program. I learned about PAL at some point, when my boys at Boys and Girls Club. And actually, I want to give credit to Pop. Pop said, hey, man, at the Boys and Girls Club, we can only do so much.
Mm-hmm.
Take your kids to PAL for the next level. And we did. And I can say that with my kids in basketball, had never put them in basketball, but they are doing great under the teaching, under the different the coaches, and also just being a part of that program. I want to give a huge shout out to PAL organization in totality. So keep that up. Keep doing what you're doing for the community. I know we've been fighting about that gym, and hopefully one day we have our own facility as you guys wish. All right, Trey, you got any shout outs, baby?
Yeah, man. I'll put a shout out to 3 shout outs, right? I like it's family as a whole, but I say this with everything, right? I got 3 families, right? I got my main family, right? Love all my blood, right? moms, pops. I love my wife, right? My stepson, my son. I say son. I don't know what I'm getting, right?
Yeah,
I don't know what I got. I don't know what I got coming up. Shout out to little one soon to be, right?
Yeah.
And all my family out there, and then definitely, like you said, shout out to my Powell family out there, right? Powell Thunder, Powell Athletics in general, AFO. I love y'all, right? We're strong out here, right? And then shout out to my Fire fam, right? That's my new family, my new extended family. I love y'all. Shout out to Iona.
There it is.
It is up, boy.
Well, hey, like they say, Green got this saying. You know what I'm saying?
I got a whole lot of sayings, man.
Okay.
Because I'm old.
You young.
But listen, man,
getting
look,
younger.
Trey. I always say this. Everybody can talk, but everybody don't tell the truth.
And with that being said, Trey, and with season 7 coming to the close,
Yes, sir,
I want
baby.
to thank you again for joining us for the last and the final episode of this season. It's been great talking to you. It's been great learning about
Yes,
your
sir.
journey. It's
Yes,
been
sir.
wonderful just understanding, hey,
Good to see Trey, too.
being
boy.
that underdog and always just, like you said, being determined and pressing through, right? Being determined and pressing through all odds, through failures, successes, everything that you had to get accomplished to get to where you are today and make you more complete. Hey,
It's big, boy.
huge.
Big, man.
Truth be told, we'll see you guys next season, season 8. We look forward
Peace,
to that
baby.
season.
Peace.
Hey, we finna go on break now, Green. Huh? You gonna drink?
What?
You gonna drink another drink?
Yeah, man.
Huh?
I got some more water.
Hey guys, we will see you guys later, man. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you guys.
Yes, sir,
We'll
man.
see you. We will see you July the 10th, I believe.
July 10th, baby.
We
We coming
out.
back. We coming back.
Truth, really, that's all we know. Keep it real and authentic. This truth be told, only the truth. Tune in, cause you gotta watch. It's like you with us while we kick it in the barbershop. Here to motivate and inspire. Hosted by the real deal and the God Barber. I hope that you ready, keep it funny and edgy. Let's go. You already know, truth be told, let's go.